If you think countertops are just countertops, this is going to completely change your perspective. Hi, I'm Judy with Luxury Utah Properties, and today we're taking an inside look at one of Utah's most advanced custom fabrication spaces, Stoneworks Utah and Trim-Art. And what happens here is next level, from precision cut stone to fully custom cabinetry fixtures and finishes. This is where the details that define luxury homes in Salt Lake and Park City, Utah truly come to life. I can't wait for you to see this. So let's go take a look inside. Hi, Kaden.
Judy, hi. Welcome in.
Thank you.
Great to have you.
I'm excited for the tour.
Yeah, we're very excited to have you in.
All right, well, show us around.
Sounds great. So this is our showroom. It's kind of our inspiration center, if you want to think of it. Kind of an area, a first landing pad, people where they drop in. They may or may not know what they want to do yet as far as inspiration is concerned. They may want quartz, they may want natural stone. And so this is a spot for them just to kind of get to know their job, their likes, their dislikes, and just make sure that they have a good grasp of what's possible and us to get to know them and their project a little bit better.
Cool, cool. So can you show me like what all of this is? What is all?
Yeah, you're good. Our display racks here are, a lot of it on this wall is quartz, and quartz can come in all different varieties, different brands, but this just gives them an opportunity to see a good spectrum of colors, patterns, and prices so that they're able to know what is possible for their job, where they fall in line with. Quartz has certain tiers of pricing and patterning. And so again, it's another way for us to be able to understand what level where they fall in line for that. Yeah, and then it moves on here. So a lot of quartz, and then on this wall here is some pieces of natural stone. It's hard to do natural stone remnants or samples. Thank you, Kaden. It's hard to do samples simply because these samples could be from 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. You don't know, and because natural stone is natural and it has remnants or different veining and different things like that from blocks or bundles, it's hard to know exactly what pattern is going to match up. And
everything is going to look different one slab to the next, right?
Yeah, it could. Yeah, even slabs in the same bundle that are cut off of the mountain, they could look vastly different from block or from bundle slab 1 to slab 10. They could look different from that. So it just depends on what they want to go with. But natural stone, we try and give some samples, but the best for us is to make sure we get them to a slab yard or something like that where they can be able to go and touch and feel and be like, yep, that's my kitchen island. Yep, that's my surround. That's my master vanity, stuff like that.
They pick out the exact piece they want.
Yeah. Yep.
So tell me the difference between quartz and quartzite. I know there's a difference, and I never really know what exactly it is.
No, you're good. So quartz, we'll stick with this over here. Okay. Quartzite, this is a big piece of Taj Mahal quartzite right here.
So quartzite is a natural stone.
Natural stone, you got it. Okay, so quartzite is cut off of the mountain and into big blocks, and those blocks are cut into smaller slab pieces, and so it's a natural material. Very, very much can come in all kinds of colors. I've seen pink and gray and blue and green and any color under the rainbow for quartzite. And then you have marbles and granite and limestone, and it goes on and on and on as far as a library of different Mother Nature materials that are out there. The quartz is completely opposite of Mother Nature. It's man-made. And just like men versus women, Mother Nature versus man-made, it's not as perfect as the Mother Nature stuff is, but it does absolutely have its place and its characteristics as well. This one is from Cambria. Not to put a plug in for them, but Cambria does have a lot of high quality quartz that's out there and their own library of options that they can do that are only their colors. This one here is an Inverness option, which has a little bit of bossing or like veining that has some texture to it as well.
And sparkle.
So this one's meant to be very soapstone-like, which is another natural stone. But this one is meant to look, man-made, meant to look like a natural piece of soapstone. And so the major difference between quartz and natural stone is the sealing process. Every natural stone that's out there in some way, shape, or form will need to be sealed. Every 8 months, every 12 months, it'll need to be sealed just to make sure that liquids and staining potential, stuff like that, are as they can get wiped away as easy as possible. So whether that's the shower or the kitchen or whatever, because this is man-made quartz, it's non-porous, and so it does not need to be sealed. In fact, a lot of the times, if people go try and seal it, it will void the manufacturer warranty. Oh. And so, yeah, it's virtually bulletproof with natural material. If you try and use a Lysol wipe or something with acid in it, it can actually etch or scratch the surface material. So this is a polished quartzite right here, so it could scratch it, and so you rub your hand against it and you go, oh, that's a little rough. Right? It's oftentimes because someone tried to use a harder acidic cleaner on the countertop, and so it'll take that finish off. With this, you can use any kind of cleaner you want to, and it'll be just fine. So depends on the job, depends on what's needed for the individual, but both are great options.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. I'll ask again probably.
You got it. It's fine. We can do as many as we need for this.
What is this?
Yeah, that there. So we got to hold it down for just a second.
I'm like, oh, fancy.
So this one here, if we hold it down for just a second, it's a tower. It's an option for plugs. But also for chargers and things like that as well. The top is also a wireless charging station as well.
So if you set your phone on top, even if it was down, it would charge it.
Yeah. It may charge it when it's up too. Let's see. Yep, it charges it when it's up too. So up or down, you get the option to do something.
So in a kitchen or in an office or?
Kitchen, office. I've seen people do these in master closets and stuff like that too. I don't know how applicable cords are in a master closet unless someone has like a makeup station or something in there. I've seen all kinds of master closets before, so you never know. But yeah, so that's one option for a pop-up. You have another option over here that's more of a manual option. It takes a little bit of a wrist exercise to do it, but this one will pop up right here. It's a little bit shorter than the other one, but you got a plug on either side for that as well. So
very cool.
And they come in different options, but that's that one. And then the last one, that's cool. I was told to hold off on this a little bit. Is a wireless one. This was new since you guys were here last.
What is that?
So this is actually built in under the countertop, obviously. So they go and they'll router out the stone down to pretty thin, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, something like that. Just thin enough to be able to get in and be able to have it work with the charge, and also be, in this case, because this Taj is a translucent stone, it will give it the chance to be able to see the halo through. You got one on that side, and then since I've got another phone in my pocket, we'll do this one.
You have 2 phones in your pocket. Oh my gosh.
Then you have that one on that side as well. And you can customize the colors. So obviously that one's got a kind of a rainbow effect to it. That one over there is a little bit more solid. So just another option to do charging and kind of make more of a statement. They come in different widths for different phones. This one's a 3. Of course, it's not going to work now when I put it back on there. This one's a 3 charging station.
So you can have 3 phones.
Yeah, you can have 3 phones right kind of all next to each other like that. So,
very cool.
So yeah, it's a great option for something like that. So something else, if I can show you, we don't have it on yet, but eventually we will. Sooner than later, we'll have it working. This is Invisacook. Okay. Have you heard about Invisacook?
I have heard about Invisacook, but I have not ever tried it.
Yeah. Their socials are really good. They do a good job on their social media platform. But yeah, there's 5 burners below this neolith slab here. Neolith is a sintered stone. It's in the porcelain family. It's just a little bit more of a dense porcelain in a way.
So is this natural or it's man-made?
Sorry, good question. This is man-made. So yeah, anything, so porcelain, neolith, decked in, anything like that is in that porcelain type family. It's a printed face, a man-made material, printed face. This one looks kind of like an Arabescado Corchia marble a little bit. And so yeah, it's got its advantages. One of them is it allows for this particular Invisacook induction system to work through there, because it can take high heat. It's virtually indestructible as far as the heat is concerned. Also, the top is, you can take a drill bit to this neolith top and it will be indestructibly fine with that. So
Very cool. What is this? What is the function of
that
this?
good question.
What is
good
this?
question. I'm glad you said. So these mats are purposeful. They're meant to do one thing, well, two things. One, show you where the burners are, because obviously you can't really see the burners and something like that. But also two, it's to help with the heat transfer.
Okay.
So the way induction works and the way that this works, the pan is essentially the key to the ignition. You know, you put it in the ignition. The pan will not, or the cooktop will not work unless the pan is on there. Induction works based off of magnetism.
Okay.
And so if you have a highly magnetic or metal, like stainless steel pan that goes on there, that will connect the magnetism and the magnet to there. It's basically a big copper coil with like a transformer that's around it to create that magnetic field. So while that sits on there, it helps to bring heat up because of the high. It cooks with a lot of like friction. So high heat, high friction that's coming off of there. So these pads are meant to help with the heat transfer coming from here to the pan. So when you like take this off of here, you should be able to put your hand on here. It will be warm and like give you a warning that it's on or was on, but it won't be like an immediate hospital trip, 3rd-degree burn type of thing going on. So yeah, it's a great option for anybody who's looking to make a statement in their kitchen, indoor or outdoor, because this Neolith Decton porcelain type stuff is great for outdoor use as well, because it's highly UV rated and it's durable beyond all belief as far as weather and stuff like that's concerned.
Right, and if someone was prepping, they could use this area to prep and move their stuff off and then use it to cook.
Absolutely.
Like you don't need more space.
Yeah, because it's man-made, it's non-porous too, so you can have raw chicken or raw meat or whatever on there, vegetables, whatever, and then prep it, cut it, set it to the side, wipe it off with Lysol or cleaner of some kind, and then come back in and cook right on it and like that. So
Fantastic.
It's entertainment space, cutting space, cooking, all combined. So
if you had a little kitchen, this is basically in your fridge would work.
Oh, it absolutely would, and they come in different options too. I'm not sure if they come in a 1 burner, but they do come in a 2, 3, 4, and 5 burner option with this. So it's a good option. The only downside about porcelain or Decton in this or Neolith is just the edges. There's not a whole lot of durability on the edges. If you were to hit it with a cast iron pan or a cookie sheet or something like that, it might chip or clamshell out. So something even to the size of my fist, and because of the way that it's made, it's not a repair option. It's more of a replace option in this case. So that's the only honest downside to Decton porcelain Neolith. Not
for clumsy people.
It's not right. So you can. Oh, sorry, I'm scratching the mic. You can toss me out, right, with something like this. I'm clumsy beyond all belief. So but it's great for many applications. Just if you're sticking with porcelain, I'd probably put it on the wall or on the floor. So.
Okay. Well, I can see like what if you really wanted to use it. Maybe you could put a piece of trim on here that's metal or wood.
Sure. Yeah, I've actually had somebody ask me about that. They said, well, what if I did and I stopped right here and I put a wood trim that matched the cabinet along there? I said,
yeah, face it.
I guess that's possible. Yeah, if you could frame it in with some wood, and it probably would be even more durable. So good idea. Because
people have teenagers and they need to eat.
Yeah, I blame you. Teenagers, little kids, whatever, clumsy adults. It's a great material, and it is bulletproof except for the edges.
The corner. Okay.
Yeah, and quartz the same way. Quartz is man-made, just like this material is, and it's virtually bulletproof except for it doesn't take the heat nearly as well as this. So if you leave a hot pan on it or something, those natural resins, that coloring that are in the quartz, that's in the quartz material, will start to, over time, it's not like it's an immediate thing, but over time will come to the surface. So you see some yellowing, some browning, some discoloring on the surface due to that.
With heat, okay.
Yeah, with high heat. I mean, I'm talking like 500 to 700 degrees. So like a really hot cast iron pan, something like that. It takes a good, honest effort to do that.
Okay.
So just with anything countertop wise, no matter if it's natural material or man-made material, I would absolutely use a trivet, cutting board, hot pads, anything like that to make sure that you take care of your material and your material will continue to work the best it can for your house.
And look as good as it can.
Yep.
Sounds great.
Absolutely.
Well, we've seen the showroom.
Yeah.
What else are you going to show us?
All right, now we are at Trim-Art. It's a custom cabinet shop right next door to ours. This is Dave Rees. He's the owner of Trim-Art and Stoneworks, one of the owners, and he's here to show us around and let us see what's going on.
Yeah, happy to have you guys here. We're happy to show you around. So this is the front area. We're actually going to be remodeling it here soon and try to freshen it up and make it a little more lively and a little more customized to what we do here. So excited to have that happen. You'll see some work in progress as we go through. But let's take you over to the showroom, start there real quick, and then we can show you the shop and go from there. So we brought our old showroom from the old place over here. It was a lot smaller a space. Here in the next couple of months, you can see they're painting back behind us. We're going to have a brand new showroom to really showcase some of the capabilities of what we have here. So this is just a little taste. Again, the partnership with Stoneworks works great, doing stone countertops with our cabinets. So love to have a turnkey solution for our customers.
Now on these cabinets, you're going to take us to show us how you make these.
Absolutely,
and everything. Yeah. But these are all custom.
Yep. Yeah, full custom cabinets. We try to be on the cutting edge of technology. One of the offerings we have, sorry.
I said no pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. So one of the cutting edge technologies that we do is a one-piece door on our painted products. I don't know if you guys have ever seen stone rail or wood door, cabinet doors that have the crack down there.
Yep.
You get it all the time. We do a one-piece door so that you don't get that crack. We've actually set these outside for months at a time, brought them back in, wiped them down after the rain and snow hit them, and they look just great. So helps with water intrusion and really helps give our customers a better product.
So on my lower cabinets at home, they're all chipped.
Yeah.
Like every single one of them.
Yeah, and you sometimes can get water down in the crack between the panel and the rails. So it's a great product. Haven't had a single warranty complaint about them since. So it's been a game changer. Again, trying to give the latest and greatest product that gives our customers a great product, a really good solution for what they're getting. So over here you can see a number of different door styles that we can do. Again, this is fully customizable. We can do any pattern, any style.
And this is just one piece, one solid piece.
Yeah. So if you pick up one of these doors, so you can see it looks like a drawer front and a door, but it's actually just one solid piece that's milled out of it. So kind of fun. Obviously able to do a lot of different colors, a lot of different wood species, wood types. Back behind you, you have sample racks of some typical colors we've seen, especially painted, and some stain options. We can also match any stain. You bring us a piece of flooring, another piece of trim, we can match it and get you what you want. So
very cool.
Yeah. Then I'll take you out to the production shop and show you some of what we got going on.
And do you work with every type of wood?
Every type of wood. Yep. You name it, you got it. So
behind the red door.
Yeah, that's right. For us, it's all about making sure the design is exactly what the customer wants to make sure that everything flows from there. We're very highly automated. You'll see here in a second. I'm going to take you to kind of the starting point of our shop, and then we'll work backwards and show you really some of the technology, some of the equipment that we have that we produce with. So our equipment will produce perfect mistakes. So if something isn't designed just right, our equipment will produce it perfectly.
Okay.
The wrong way.
So you just have to make sure the design is right first.
Yes, the design is very important. You know, so back in the day when I started doing cabinets, it was a napkin sketch. They'd send it out to the shop and here, make this, and you just start cutting it. And you'd figure out how to make it, how to build it as you were going along. But nowadays, all of that work is done up front. So when it comes out of the mill, it's assembling it as best possible. So really streamline the process, make it more efficient for our shop to manufacture, to assemble things, and then go from there. So the better you design something, the easier it flows through the shop and for installation. So
very cool.
Here you'll see, this is kind of where the start is. This is what we call our IntelliStore. It's basically a robotic panel management system that you can see has stacks of wood. Some of them are dedicated to a specific type of wood. Some of them are what we call rainbow stack. That's a multi-layered, different types of wood mixed into it. So as you can see here, it's bringing a sheet in. And so it knows exactly what that sheet is. It will land it here, and then when we pull up the program to run the job, it will come and grab that sheet. If that sheet gets buried by 5 or 10 sheets, it will unstack that and grab that sheet specifically for the job it's designed to go into.
So everything's inventoried. It has its system and management, and so
yeah,
we'll move things as it needs to get what it wants.
Exactly.
Very cool.
So once it does that, you can see 3 tables coming out of here, 2 that feed our CNCs, and 1 that feeds it's a robotic beam saw. And I'll show you the robotic beam saw here in a second, but it's a big robot that grabs the sheets and flips and returns it so that it can cross-cut things to the right size and spits out parts, ready to do the next operation on. So.
Wow. So does someone have to manage all of this, or does AI help you?
Both.
Okay.
So definitely both. So we have to obviously tell it the right materials coming in, right? If we tell it it's white melamine when it's something else, it's going to pick up the wrong sheet and cut it. So again, it does perfect operations with the incorrect process if you don't do it right. So you got to make sure all the data inputs are correct, and then it will do it right. So the way this shop is set up, it's all about a continuous flow of parts, where those parts get cut, and a lot of times the same day, those cabinets are getting assembled and getting shipped out the door.
Wow.
So it's not a lot of parts stacked. Some places have stacked parts here and there and everywhere, and you have to sort through it. Stuff gets damaged, stuff gets lost. Whereas here, it comes off the saw, it gets processed really quick, and then I'll show you the sorting rack here in a second where the cabinet parts get sorted. As soon as a cabinet is ready to get assembled, I grab those parts, assemble it, and then out the door it goes.
Wow.
So, all the parts coming off the saw get cut to blank slabs like this. On here, it also has a label printer that puts this label onto it, and it tells you the job name, job number, the cabinet number, the part number it is, what it is for that cabinet. Has a barcode, so you can see he has a barcode scanner. He's going to scan the next part here, and then he puts it in the machine, and it will process the part just what is supposed to happen. So from there, it gets edge banded or passed along to the drill and down machine for other processing, and then from there it goes to get sorted and stacked.
Wow.
To assemble the cabinets. So you can see we try to make the cell as tight as possible so that parts and pieces aren't getting stacked and then moved and then unstacked. It's really about just making sure things just are flowing constantly, always moving. So if you want to come over here, I'll show you that parts sorting station. So you can see here, she's scanning the barcode. She's going to take that part and she's going to rack it where it says it needs to go.
And then they get put together.
Yep. So as soon as she scans that part, it will highlight what row it's supposed to go in or what cell it's supposed to go into. She'll put those parts in that cell, and then when the cell is ready to assemble, when all the parts and pieces are in there, it will turn green. So then our assembly guys, they'll grab that cell of parts, assemble it, and then again, out the door it goes.
Okay, so 7, 11, 17, and 41, they're ready to assemble.
Yep, correct. So all the parts and pieces are here ready to go.
I'm ready for my job.
What's great is they're empowered to shut this place down. If something doesn't work or something is wrong, or if a part gets damaged, they can say, hey, I need this part, and the next part off the saw will be that part that they need. So
cool.
So it makes sure the flow continues. So you can see the saw running in the background. So this is our CNC cell. You can see it pulling a sheet on that just got landed from the IntelliStore. So it's pulling it on, and as soon as it lands it, you're going to see it just start moving and start drilling and cutting it. So this can do all customized parts and pieces. For example, this piece right here. So this is an example of a one-piece door, so to speak. It's actually a base frame for a cabinet, but you can see how it's multi-layered, and it's cut out of one sheet. If you have to have a separate piece, right, it's a lot more work, it's a lot more time. you risk joints that then could pop or move, and so this helps prevent those issues. So they're getting these ready to go into paint, and then they're going to paint them up and then get assembled on the cabinet. So
Very cool.
These are for a toy store actually up
They're
in Sun Valley.
beautiful.
So
They're beautiful.
It's kind of fun. So again, focusing on the design, making sure the design is right, so that everything flows from here. It's paramount. So we're going to go down into our paint department now. This is where everything gets the finished coats on it. So you'll see some stuff stacked up over here on the side. This is about a day's worth of work, so we don't want a ton of work sitting here and waiting to go to the job site, right? It doesn't help us or the contractor to have stuff sitting, or the end customer, right? The faster we can get it produced, the faster we can get it to the customer, the happier everybody is. So it's all about just in time and making sure things are flowing. Not if you bottleneck too much stuff, then everybody gets overwhelmed and stuff has to get moved to then move other parts and pieces, and it slows the whole process down. So having just the right amount of width or the product on the floor ready to get produced is important. So in here you'll see some kind of custom finishes here. So that's a kind of a antique oak type of look. So we can do all sorts of unique things. Style, traditional style and rail stained doors, just like this.
Now with the wood ones, it looks like you've got different edges. So these aren't cut exactly the same. These are hardwood.
Yeah, hardwoods or wood doors, you have to do a 5-piece. You can't do that 1-piece mill. It just doesn't work. So you unfortunately don't get the benefit, but you don't have that popping issue as much. So
now, was the product that you do the milling, is that an MDF or is it something different?
It's called an HDM. It's a high density MDF basically.
Okay.
So here's an example of another custom product that we did.
So
this is that product.
The mill product. Wow.
So see the logo's built into it. So this is
somebody's got a very nice podium.
Yeah, it's awesome. So over here is where the fun happens. So this is an open air spray booth for spraying hoods and mantles and other things that we can't put it through our paint line. But over here is where the fun technology kicks in again in the paint department. Paint has typically been one guy just spraying it by hand and then one guy scuffing it by hand, and it's a long process. Whereas this equipment is set up to increase that productivity. So we're able to produce in this department about 3 to 4 times as much as we were 6 months ago before we had this equipment in place. So pretty substantial savings, pretty substantial improvement in production capacity. So what happens is that they set up products here on this NP tray. This is a big sander that has, I guess the whole system is set up with formulas or processes. So a typical door will take 6 to 8 coats of finish to finish it out. So depending on if it's a stained or a painted product. So that's 6 or 8 times you have to handle that product and feed it and paint it and do all that. So this, you feed it in here, and then it'll basically spit it back out, ready for the next process. So
you take it from here, you put it back on there, and it goes through again.
It goes through again and again.
Very good. Like a merry-go-round.
So what's fun about this is typically when product gets finished, that you'd have to rack it up and then wait for it to dry, wait for it to cure before you can then process it again. Historically, that time has been anywhere from 3 hours to 6 hours sometimes, waiting for each coat of finish to happen. So you think about large products like this, or big doors, or a big job of residential cabinets, you have racks and racks and racks of parts that are sitting there drying until you can do another process to them. Whereas what this does is there's a finish or an oven back here that bakes the finish from the inside out, so it speeds up the cure time and it makes it so we can process parts faster, and it racks them automatically. So we don't have to grab those parts, rack them, then wait for them to dry, and then unrack them, put them in again, and rack them again. So it saves all that time and effort. So the parts come in here, they travel down this belt, then they go to this area. It's not running right now, but those are spray heads that move back and forth and paint the parts automatically. So
Very
again,
cool.
the formula will tell it, okay, this part needs to get a silk coat or a top coat or painted this color, and it will trigger the right pumps to pump the right product in and finish it out. So after it goes through there, it has a little flash off area where it lets some of the fumes exhaust, and then it goes into this space right here. So if you look in here, there's basically big tables with fingers with racks, and what it does is those fingers go over and grab those parts, lift it up onto the different racks, and it racks those. And when those parts are ready to, when they're dry enough, it will automatically grab them and spit them out. So it's just a continuous flow of parts. So they're processing parts, you know, projects in half a day that would have taken us 2 to 3 days to produce.
Oh yeah,
so.
And a lot of back and arm and move.
Yeah, and with less people, right?
Yeah.
So, or the same amount of people are producing more product. So, it also helps with the quality. You can feel the finish of that.
Oh yeah, that's
it's really
perfect.
smooth, really a nice finish. So it helps with the consistency of the finish, making sure that the what's called the mill coats, or the thickness of the finish that's going on it, is consistent, and making it a better product overall.
Wow.
So, pretty fun. Again, open air booths for custom parts or things that can't fit through that line. Then over here is it's called a shoebox. It's another dryer, kind of like the one we saw at the end, but this is for, again, bigger parts that can't get put into that dryer. So now we're going to head down to what we call our customs and hardwoods department or area. This is where custom parts and pieces get assembled or created. So for example, like this right here is a custom slat wall.
A custom
slat wall. So it's a feature that goes up. I'm pretty sure this goes above a bench, like a banquette.
Okay.
For just like screen wall application. There's some box beams, like for ceiling box beams, faux beams. Back there, they make hoods and mantles and upholster banquettes. You saw some of these face frames before. Before they were only just this first piece. You see that they've added extra pieces to them to bracket it on to make it quick and easy for installation. So again, all about the process of designing the parts and pieces so they fit together easily. They assemble them real quick, paint them, and then the installation is really easy and seamless, as opposed to having to worry about touch-ups and fixing it in the field. So
very cool.
It's all about the speed of the thing.
Lots of these.
Yeah, there's quite a few of these. So again, some faux beams for a project that we're doing up the Homestead Resort in Park City, or I guess in Heber. This is our hardwood custom area, or custom doors. So this is where we make our own 5-piece doors. It's really streamlined. The whole process is to try to get doors assembled and produced just in time for our stuff, for our cabinets to be assembled. So again, everything marries up at the same time, so you don't have a bunch of products sitting there. Before we started this, before we doing our own doors, we'd order doors, and then we'd have to warehouse them, because you never know kind of when they'd show up. Sometimes they'd show up on time, or sometimes they'd show up late, so we have to order them early. But then you'd have racks and racks and racks of doors. Some doors would get lost or damaged or broken, or water would spill on them or something, and then we'd have to order new doors. So making them in the right time frame so that they're showing up just in time for paint, just in time for cabinet assembly is critical. Over here you can see Ethan, he's sanding some of the doors he's just made. So again, these doors will most likely be in our finished department tomorrow, and on cabinets in 2 days, and out the door. So they're sanding those doors. So yeah. Once he finishes assembling them, you got to make sure you sand them so they're just right.
Much faster.
Yeah, much faster than trying to do by hand, but definitely.
Yeah.
So we've invested heavily in technology and equipment, so that it makes our employees' lives easier and faster. So we can offset some additional hires. So we're keeping people busy, but we're offsetting additional people with technology and equipment, so we can make it easier and faster for everybody.
Very nice.
Then over here, I don't know if you can sweep by over here. This is kind of just our shipping area. This is where it's getting loaded up and out the door. So as parts and pieces leave, they'll scan them just with those same barcodes that we saw earlier. Scan them, make sure that they're supposed to go on that truck, so you're not getting parts and pieces sent to the wrong job sites. And then they get delivered, and is coordinated with our own in-house installers that they go out and install our product. So
Wow.
So it's about efficiency and making sure things are happening in the right time frame. So we work our project managers work really closely with our customers, whether it's a residential, homeowner or contractors, to make sure that we're scheduling things right and making sure we're showing up at the right time. Because it doesn't help us or them to produce stuff early, then it's either sitting here in the warehouse or sitting on their job site, collecting dust or getting paint overspray on it and getting ruined. So yeah, that's a little bit about who we are.
Very cool.
What else can I show you?
I see all of the pickleballer
Yeah.
stuff, and that's a company that you do a lot of work for, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So we create all these custom fixtures and displays for Pickler, the pickleball company that we do their franchise locations nationwide. So it's been great. We help them design these parts and pieces, so we get kind of working directly hand in hand with the customer to give them what they want. So it's been a great product.
So these are all custom designed specifically for them
Correct.
here, and they go out to all of their franchises.
Yeah, correct.
Very cool. Very cool.
So yeah. Any other questions?
Well, I think I have some more questions, but let's go back to your shop.
Showroom for sure.
Make sure.
So this is our shop, and it's a wet shop, so watch out, we got plenty of water in certain spots. But this, first and foremost, this is our workhorse saw right here. This is our javelin saw. It's a water jet saw, and it certainly does an amazing job of getting both quantity and quality out of every single job that we do. It cuts with a super high PSI, a mixture of water and sand, and it can give full mitering capabilities, so it can cut virtually any miter that we do for a job. We do a lot of 10-inch mitered fronts on sinks and integrated vanity sinks and all kinds of different things like that. So this does the job of, I don't know, a dozen people probably. It does so many things at one time, and it's a great option for the shop.
Very cool.
Yeah, we've had it. We've had it in our possession for almost a year, so it's almost the 1-year anniversary. And unlike some other 1-year anniversaries that are out there, we are absolutely not sad that we have this machine. So it's a great option for us. We like it a lot. So over this way we have our CNC machine. Now the CNC does a lot of our cutouts for us. So it'll kind of smooth out the inside of our sink cutouts and do some of the more finer detail work with some of our jobs that we have like that. So it gets a lot of work, but it's not as much of a workhorse as some of these other ones are. We have our Baca. It's very similar to the javelin saw that we have, except it does not do any mitering. So it does a lot of it's a water jet, just like our other saws. We have the javelin saw, but yeah, it doesn't do any of the mitering capabilities. A lot of great work though. We use this thing like crazy. This was actually the first saw that we had, and so it does a ton of work for us. We utilize these saws and the technology that we have simply to make sure we can get both, like I mentioned before, quantity and quality out of our jobs. And we allow the machines to do the work for us, but they're all man operated or woman operated, as you can see right here, as we make sure that they are operating to their peak performance, their peak efficiency.
It looks like puzzle pieces.
Yeah. So what's great is, as you can see here on the computer right over here, the computer programs that we have will talk to the machines and tell them basically, all right, we need this job. It's going to be a master vanity and or a kitchen surround or something like that, and there's going to be 8 or 10 pieces on this one slab. It will allocate certain areas of the stone from our computer program, and it will just cut it out like a puzzle piece, quite literally like that, and it will cut out 99.9% or even, well, really 100% of what's there, and then we just lift off the pieces that are not needed, and we'll throw them in our dumpster.
But it eliminates waste.
Yeah.
You have a lot less waste.
That is the reason, yeah, great question. That's the reason why we have our computer programs, is we do our best to, what's called yield out the stone so that we can get the most efficient use out of it as possible. If we have a remnant, we'll keep it in our remnant section, and we'll show you that in a little bit. But yeah, this really gives us a chance to really maximize the most out of each and every slab that we have.
Very cool.
Yeah. Down here is our finish department. And these guys are responsible for doing a lot of our polishing on our edges and make sure that we can get, let me see over here. Make sure that we can get all of our jobs nice and pristinely done before they head out. So we glue up a lot of our mitered edges here. So our water jet or javelin will cut the edges and into virtually a perfect puzzle piece, a perfect 45 or degree angle with that. And then they'll come here and they'll make sure that they're glued up perfectly and nicely if we need to. Sometimes we'll take some plywood, and if we're doing a thicker mitered edge, we'll build up the edge of the inside of our stone to make sure it looks like it's one solid piece of stone. And yeah, it's a great spot. These guys do a great job making sure that everything looks polished and nice before it goes out the door.
Very cool.
So
these are cut pieces ready for them
these are cut pieces ready for them to do their job. This one here is a finished piece. This is what our CNC machine will do. Is it'll eat out the inside and make sure it's nice and smooth. Yeah.
Very nice. And then the underlay goes there.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah. So a lot of good stuff there. We can head over to our warehouse now.
Okay. Very cool.
It is. It's very cool. Yeah, this is a piece of Taj that we're doing for a job. This is 2cm Taj Mahal, and Taj Mahal can come in. I'm glad you pointed that out. It can come in so many different varieties, so many different colors. There's more that's green. There's more that's Taj that's more brown. I'm doing some for a job right now in Morgan that is almost a pure crystal white Taj Mahal.
Wow.
So that's the thing. These natural quartzites and natural stones like that, you can get one that looks a certain color and one that's the same exact color brand as another one, but it is the opposite end of the spectrum as far as its pattern is concerned. So that's the beautiful thing about natural stone, is they're never the same.
Yeah.
And then we have our crane right here, which does a lot of the work for us in the shop, because these are weigh hundreds and hundreds of pounds, these stone slabs. So yeah, this is a crane. This tool right here is called we call it an elephant. It's called an elephant, and it works with those pads are high suction, and so it'll stick onto the big stone slabs that we use and help us move them from spot to spot, so we can be able to very carefully place them down on each one of our workstations here.
So
The whole length of the shop.
Wow. So it can drop a piece anywhere you need it.
Yep, exactly. It helps. This is a lot of our muscle right here. Will do a lot of our work for us and save our backs.
Very cool.
So yeah, pretty cool.
I like efficiency.
Yeah, very cool. And I'm glad you guys are here too, so you can see. We just barely started working on this job about 45 minutes ago, so it's a good time to come in. Oh, that there? Yeah. We have a lot more of it in here. I'll show you.
So this is your personal stash of slabs.
Yeah, this is where our warehouse is right here. This is the beginning of some of our remnants that we have, and they can vary in price, but there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of remnants that are marked as free, meaning the stone is free, and then the clients or whoever will pay for fabrication and installation, but the stone itself is free.
So you have like a smaller project, like a bathroom or a closet.
Yeah.
You only need a little piece.
Yeah, good potential. Hey, Orfeo, you want to get a shot of this? If you want to, yeah, that'd be great. This is our slab scanner. I don't know if I showed you guys this before, but this is essentially a giant camera. And this camera will take a picture of each and every one of our slabs that we get in and help us to inventory them, as well as this takes it into our 3D virtual space now. So we can take this slab, and you can see it's going across.
Oh my gosh, just like scanning paper.
Yep, exactly. It's like a giant like printer scanner, but it's for stone.
That is so cool.
So it will take it into our 3D space and allow us to do our vein matching with it. So we can take what's here, kind of blow it up and turn it into a bunch of puzzle pieces, and then put it, if we're doing backsplash or miters or things of that nature, it will let us be able to create that in our 3D world, send the vein match approval out to clients, then they can see it on their computer and flip and turn it any way they want to, and make sure that the veins and everything match up, the pattern matches up to exactly how they want.
That's very cool.
Yeah, these remnants are a huge attraction for a lot of people to come in and see what they can do, especially if they just need a little part for a vanity or a pool house bath or something like that. It gives them a chance. Half bath, yeah. You know, you had a flood and you're doing an insurance job and you have to work with tight money, or whatever it might be. Opportunity. It's full of opportunity.
Very cool. So you could take a piece here and you could custom cut it to fit what was there before.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So this is our warehouse. Most of the slabs that are in here are already allocated to certain jobs, but there are some that are stickered. And most of the time, if they're stickered, they're available for sale at various prices,
like
from
the orange sticker.
Yep, from free to a square footage price, and that can vary depending on the type of stone and the size of the stone and so forth like that as well. So there are some toward the end that are stocked or inventoried slabs that are leftovers from jobs or too good of a deal to pass up, and we had to buy it, or a mix of different things that gives us a chance to be able to sell them to folks that need them. That's one reason why we do the remnants. No job for us is too small or too large. We like to make sure we service anybody and everybody that we can, and give them an opportunity to do a tiny little powder vanity like you mentioned, or a big home in Toohey, Park City, and beyond.
Fun.
So yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Love it.
I love. Well, thank you so much for that great tour.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is
anytime.
amazing stuff. I might come back and look just again.
Come back, we'll help you do your kitchen or your bathroom or something.
For real. I'm going to pick out one of those remnant slabs.
Yeah, we have lots of options there, so try to, come pick it out.
Yeah, we'll do. So if somebody wants to redo a kitchen or their bathroom or renovate their whole house, do they need to come here with a designer, or can they come here with an idea?
Welcome to do either way. So we work with designers or contractors all the time. They send us plans. We can quote out a set of plans. Obviously the more information the better, so we can get a realistic budget, make sure we're on target with what your vision is and what we're pricing. But we also have an in-house designer and sales team that can walk you through the entire process. So
That's fantastic.
yeah, we can pull designs and colors and schemes and help you with your modern or whatever you want. So
Very cool. So if someone is interested in using you to do their renovation or their small remodel or their tiny little bathroom sink, how do they get a hold of you?
So anytime they can come down here and talk to one of our salespeople. They can also send a quote request to bids@trim-art.com. Or info@trim-art.com. Either one of those, go to our estimating coordinator, who then assigns it to a salesperson. They get in contact with you and kind of get a feel for what you're looking for and try to get your plans and make sure we have all the correct information. So, or just schedule a time to meet up with somebody, and happy to help you out.
Fantastic. And can they, since you are a collaboration with Stoneworks, right?
Yeah, correct.
So they can just come to you for one stop, right?
Yeah.
They can say, I need a whole kitchen, so you can do their custom slabs work and everything.
Correct. Yeah, we started Stoneworks about 3 years ago just to help service our clients. Our clients were asking us who we refer them to or collaborate with, and we're having a hard time working with some stone fabricators, and it just seemed to fit fit it all together in one package. So we started Stoneworks a couple years ago, and it's been great. It's been really helpful for our customers. They can come to one-stop shop and get all their needs met.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. And just another plug, apart from the cabinets, the standard painted and stained wood we also do things like plaster hoods and metal hoods, or unique details into your cabinetry or into your space that you need. So
Like built-ins?
Like built-ins. We've done built-in stone cabinets. We've done metal hoods, copper hoods, plaster hoods, like I said. So we can really be a full service shop for you.
Get your whole kitchen done.
Yep.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again for your time and the great tour today.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you coming in. It's great.
It was very fun.
Yeah, anytime. You're welcome to stop by anytime.
If you found this as fascinating as I did, go ahead and hit like so more people can see what's possible in luxury home design. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss more behind the scene tours, local spotlights, and everything happening in the Salt Lake and Park City real estate market. And I'd love to hear from you. What was your favorite part of the process? Let me know in the comments. If you're thinking about building, remodeling, or finding a home with this level of craftsmanship, you can explore what's available anytime at luxuryutahproperties.com. And of course, if you have questions or want to talk through your plans, I would love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help.